Gangsta Goodies Kitchen. Well, today I'm not going to cook. I'm actually going to show you spices. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about spices. So, with the most of our states, if they haven't already, they are moving towards putting us on a 30-day stay at home, which my city, Kansas City, which I've always told y'all is one of the best kept secrets in the country. So after this is all over, y'all gonna have to come see me and come to Kansas City, right? So anyway, one of my sister friends called me the other day and she's like, girl, I'm cooking all kind of stuff I ain't never thought about cooking before. She said, but what I'm finding is that I just don't have enough spices on hand, or the right kind of spices on hand. So I'm just gonna tell you guys a little bit about the spices that I always have on deck. No matter what's going on in the world, you can always find these particular spices in the Gangsta Goodies cabinet, okay? So here we go. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, first of all, take a sip, because this whole stay at home and stay healthy, and it is of course necessary, but it is also, it can take its toll on us. Before I get into the spices, I want you to check out my girl Wendy. She's gonna drop a coronavirus self-care tip for the week. So listen up, y'all.
Hey everyone, it's Wendy with Holistic and Well, and we're going to talk about our COVID self-care tip of the week. So take your hand, place it on your chest, over your heart. Do you feel that? Your heart's beating. You're alive. That's gratitude. That was last week's tip. Take your other hand, put it on your stomach. Now take a deep breath in, fill your lungs and your stomach. Make sure you release it with that sigh afterwards. Let's do it another time. Now let me tell you what's going on in your brain. As you take in that breath of air, your heartbeat speeds up just a little bit. And as you release it, your heartbeat slows back down. And if you do that enough times, what happens is that your breathing and your heartbeat naturally become in sync. When that happens, you release the feel-good endorphins in your brain. And that helps to release cortisol and helps to relieve anxiety. Set your phone alarm, and I know you've got one, to do that deep breathing once every hour. It doesn't cost anything, it doesn't hurt anything. But try it and see how you begin to feel with incorporating that self-care in every day, several times a day. That's it. Simple, easy peasy. So that's your tip for this week. I will see you next week. Stay holistic and well.
All right, now we got our tip for the week. And so we will do that every week, for as long as we need to, just to kind of reiterate, over-communicate the messages that our leadership is pushing out to us. So now I'm going to take a sip, and then we're going to get into the spices, okay? So, and then we can have a little conversation about them. One of my favorites. This is a Sidecar, okay? And so the only difference I do, this is made with bourbon versus cognac or brandy. I can put that recipe up if y'all want to try it. It's yum, yum, y'all. I promise you. So, okay. So here we go. We're going to talk about the spices. So garlic powder, okay? Garlic powder, always have it on hand, okay? So even though I use a lot of fresh garlic in my cooking, I always have garlic powder on hand, okay? Can't go wrong with that. Then I have cumin, okay? Cumin is used in a lot of like Latino-inspired dishes, Greek dishes. Actually, I use cumin a lot. So chili and tacos, when I make fajitas and stuff like that, I will use cumin, okay? Then we have cayenne pepper. I'm a pepper kind of girl, okay? So always got cayenne pepper. There's a couple other peppers that I play around with, like white pepper, African yellow pepper, but I always have cayenne pepper as well. Then I have red pepper flakes. Okay? You need something that you want to put a little heat to it, add some red pepper flakes. And of course, just some plain old fine granulated sea salt, y'all. Now, my daughter always tells me that I don't use enough salt in my food. And so I really try to use a lot of spices with very, very, very minimum salt. You know, the reality is that I'm a 50-something-year-old African-American woman, and we know that hypertension runs rampant in our community. And so I am grateful and thankful to say that my blood pressure normally is about 99/68. And guess what? I want to keep it that way, in particularly because hypertension runs in my family on both my father's side and my mother's side. So I'm very conscious of the salt intake. So if you ever come over here and you think, this is fire, but it needs a little something, it might need just a pinch of salt because your girl don't cook with a whole lot of salt. Okay. Then we have turmeric. Always have turmeric on hand. I use turmeric. Actually, I even put turmeric in smoothies. And so turmeric is one of those spices that has several health benefits. Inflammation, helping with inflammation is one of them. And those of us who are suffering from or dealing with, don't want to use the word suffering because our words are powerful. So those of us who are living successfully with chronic illnesses, a lot of those chronic illnesses stem from inflammation being in our body. And so turmeric is one of those spices that can address that. I also always have curry. I love curry, and I'm bound to put a little bit of curry in almost anything, y'all, okay? So a little bit of curry powder. Then smoked paprika. And then I also keep just a regular paprika, okay? You can't mix up a Cajun spice, a blackened seasoning spice, a jerk spice. If you're making those from scratch yourself, you gotta have some paprika. Paprika is our friend when it comes to mixing spices. Okay, then we have cinnamon. Okay, always have cinnamon on hand. Never know when I'm going to use it, whether I'm going to sprinkle it on top of baked sweet potatoes, whether I'm mixing it in a jerk seasoning or whatever. I always have cinnamon on hand. Then I have some coriander. And so the coriander is, I kind of use those hand in hand with the cumin and the coriander. And again, in a lot of Latin-inspired dishes, I'll use coriander. I actually put a little bit of coriander when I make up my Cajun seasoning mix. I put a little bit of coriander in there, okay? Not the tradition, but that's what I put in mine. And when it comes to dried spices, I always have two on hand. And that is dried thyme and dried oregano. Those are always going to be on deck. There are a couple of others like parsley. You can always have dried basil is also good to have. But those are the ones that I typically always have on deck. So no matter what I'm going to cook, I can look in my cabinet and mix up a spice blend real quick and have what I need to make that dish absolutely fabulous. So I hope you all are having a wonderful day. You're cooking up all kinds of goodness. And when you're thinking about spices, think about spicing it up the Gangsta Goodies Kitchen way. So peace out, y'all. Cheers. Stay safe. Stay home. Okay? When you do go out, make sure you protect yourself and protect others as well. Okay? You've heard the drill. The gloves, the mask, all of that. Y'all need me to show y'all what that looks like? Okay. All right. Y'all don't want me to show you? Okay. But remember, when you go out, do that. If you're not feeling well, stay home. Don't even go to the grocery store, okay? So, peace out, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers and spice it up.